And now, it's time for a Star Trek story. You know, Aaron, as we've been on our podcast journey, I think it's safe to say that there's definitely been lots of feels.
A few feels.
A few feels.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, this begs a question as we get all touchy and feely on this show. Are emotions dangerous?
Emotions. I don't know if dangerous is the word. Volatile.
Emotions are volatile.
Yeah.
They certainly can be. But dangerous, maybe.
Could be. It depends on the person that the emotions are in, I guess, you know?
Okay, so more of not so much the emotions, but the person experiencing the emotions.
Right.
are dangerous.
That person experiencing anger might choose to act in a way that someone else experiencing anger would not choose to act. You know?
Okay. All right. Emotions are volatile, but people can be dangerous. Okay. Not a bad answer. Yeah, it's kind of a tricky one. It's definitely kind of a loaded question. Are emotions inherently dangerous? I don't know, but can they certainly be? Absolutely. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll be curious as we watch and talk about this if this gives me any more ideas. But yes, welcome to Star Trek Stories, everyone. This is episode 57, Descent. I am your hysterical host, Jaron Hatch, and I'm joined here by my heated co-host, Aaron Cole. Hello, Aaron.
Heated.
Hysterical! Welcome to Star Trek Stories. Are emotions dangerous? Am I dangerous?
These are my things. I need my things.
Oh, dear. Yes, welcome to the show, everyone. We are nearing the halfway point in our look at Deep Space Nine and the end of TNG. Last time we watched In the Hands of the Prophets, the season finale of Deep Space Nine's first season. And now we are getting to the season 6 finale of The Next Generation. So a little back-to-back season finale compare and contrast on Star Trek Stories. Looking at this season finale, we have a returning guest with us on the show today. Sitting in the captain's chair, once again, we have the very lovely Marc Nielson on the show. Yay!
Yay for me. Oh, well, thank you so much for having me back on. My brothers inside of Christ.
Yes, praise be. Dear, oh dear. Marc, you've been on the show a couple times now, a few times, and you have recently more or less been discovering TNG for the first time as a hardcore Star Trek fan. Very rare place for someone to be in.
Indeed, yep.
And I know you're still in the middle of watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you've had like a big chunk of it under your belt, how has it been discovering this show for the first time as like a hardcore Star Trek fan? What stands out to you?
It's so good. Like, and and last time we talked about obviously their growing pains of the first 2 seasons, and even with how cringy those first 2 seasons are, I still absolutely loved it watching through it. And then you were right, when it hits its 3rd season, it really starts to ramp up. They really start to hit their stride. I believe we're in the 4th season now, and it's just like every episode that we watch keeps becoming like my new favorite episode of The Next Generation. Like I was like, oh well, and part of that is just because it's the most prevalent one in my mind, but
Sure.
It's just that just goes to show how good the show is. At that point, is just every episode, I feel like they just keep topping themselves. They keep pushing the envelope. I would say like Deep Space Nine still remains my favorite. And I haven't gotten to the end of Next Generation yet, but Deep Space Nine is still my favorite. But I believe it will be followed by The Next Generation.
Close second.
This Next Generation is a very close second. I love them all, but Star Trek, some of the other shows, a lot of the other shows, and even both of those, both the Deep Space Nine and Next Generation, they suffer from issues. Yep. They're, it's not a home run every single time, but some of the shows have a few more walks than others.
Oh yes.
Being in the batter, all game long.
Yep.
Sometimes. But I would say and maybe that comes down to the order in which I watch them. Deep Space Nine will always have a special place in my heart. So, but the fact that Next Generation so far is a close second, I mean, that just...
They're not even finished with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like in the peak of it right now with like season 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole run is just like, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on what we're going to watch today.
I'm excited.
This will be a little peek ahead for you because this will be a little further from where you are. So,
awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. Also, in addition to Marc, we have a surprise guest with us on the show today.
Woo, 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 woo. Surprise guest warning.
Sitting next to me on the couch, once again, we have the very lovely Jennie Beal on the show with us. Yay! Just waving a little flag. Yay! Baby, how are you today?
I'm good. Drinking mimosas.
Yeah, it can't be half bad, right?
No.
Strong mimosa. I'm like,
if you're new to the show, Jennie, of course, is my lovely partner in crime and best friend.
He means girlfriend. He just doesn't like to say it.
There's my lovely partner and girlfriend in crime.
Your girlfriend in crime?
My girlfriend in crime.
I'm a crime girlfriend.
Yes. And I always love having you on. Last time we had you on, we watched I, Borg, where we learned that Borgexistence is not futile.
Oh, God.
And also, we have to say congratulations are also in order for you because by the time this episode is coming out, you're going to be finally done with grad school.
oh my gosh.
God.
That's a huge, huge accomplishment.
Thank you.
It's nuts.
You have had to suffer through it as much as me.
So we've had you on a few times. We've talked before on the show how kind of the thing you like about... I introduced you to Star Trek. And sci-fi also isn't really your big thing, but I kind of showed you a whole bunch of episodes from the franchise. And you're like a casual fan. We've kind of talked about. And you said that you personally, you like the thought experiment, like big idea aspect of Star Trek. Also kind of like the drama and mystery. We haven't watched a longer episode with you on the podcast yet, and they tend to be a little more rooted in like the lore and the characters and the story arcs. As someone who's more of a casual fan, what's your feeling on kind of some of more of these aspects of Star Trek, like the lore and the characters and stuff?
I feel like I'm horrified because I don't know. I don't know what I think in an episode that's really lore heavy, I'm not going to know what pieces I'm missing. It's like when you watch Family Guy and you don't know that 90% of what they're saying is references because you've never heard them. I feel like I don't know. I'm not sure that inherently appeals to me. I'm sure that I appreciate the references that I catch, but generally I don't know what's being referenced.
It seems like in general, like you're not really someone who devours a lot of like long form content, like, you know, all 3,000 seasons of Doctor Who or...
I have ADHD.
I got to keep it moving.
Yeah, I do not have the attention span for long form art.
If you had to say, like, of all the things, you'd probably be like the most expert in the lore, and what would be your thing?
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say True Blood.
True Blood.
True Blood
I
lore.
like that answer. That's awesome. I love True Blood.
But I haven't read the books that it's based off of. I've just watched the series multiple times and paid attention, I think.
Do you feel like you're more familiar with that than, say, even SpongeBob?
Okay, yeah, maybe the SpongeBob lore, but
deep.
SpongeBob has like 100 seasons now, and I've only seen probably the first 4.
So even then, I will also be curious to hear your thoughts on this. Like I said, this one is a slightly more lore heavy, like nothing that's like inaccessible, but I'll be curious because we've mostly watched this little like standalone, episode of the week kind of shows.
Yeah, ask me again after we've watched it, and I'll tell you.
Before we get into it, real quick, just opening up the question from earlier to both you two, Marc and Jennie. What do you guys think? Are emotions dangerous?
I would say that my gut reaction to that is no. Emotions are not inherently dangerous. They're, a physical and like mental reaction, but I do think that our interpretations of our emotions can be dangerous, and the behaviors that we engage in as a response to our emotions obviously can be dangerous. But I think the fact that like two people can have the same emotion and have a totally different response speaks more to the, like Aaron was saying, the individual having the emotion, rather than like, a black mamba where everyone that's bitten by a black mamba will have to go to the hospital. A black mamba is dangerous. It's fucking sick.
Okay.
It's also really fucking cool.
What do you think, Marc?
Yeah, I guess I'm just parroting what Aaron and Jennie have said, is that it's the individual, it's the person's coping mechanisms to deal with negative emotions, that if those are not in place, or if those aren't adequate, then it can create a dangerous situation within that particular individual. But inherently, I don't think that they're necessarily dangerous.
Interesting. For me, I guess the jury is a little out on this, and so it'll be interesting to see if, like, I land more one way or the other, because there's some part of me that certainly agrees with all three of you. There's also some part of me that kind of almost looks at emotions as like, say, like a knife, where it's like, it's, a knife is inherently dangerous. However, like, it is also an extremely useful tool that can be used for all kinds of things, but there is like a danger potential in it. And so there's this kind of like inherent, it doesn't have to necessarily be used for danger, but you always have to be careful with like a knife or something like that. So like, I feel like they're just for they're inherently irrational. So I feel like on some level there is like a, but proceed with caution element to it. Like, doesn't mean they have to be, but I think there is
Caution, but also like technique. You can use,
sure, yeah. Like
to go along with the metaphor.
Right. I mean, yeah, because, if you want to get skilled with a knife to be, to get the most out of it and to be safe with it, and the same with your emotions, you want to practice kind of like, like emotional, like processing your emotions and reflecting on your emotions and dealing with your emotions and like in a safe, like helpful way. So I'm kind of mixed at the moment. I'll be curious if I get a little more perspective on it. Because yes, we are watching Descent today. This premiered June 21st, 1993. As we said before, this is the season finale of the 6th season of Star Trek The Next Generation. This also would have aired a day after the season 1 finale of Deep Space Nine that we just watched. So this would have been like back-to-back finales for 90s Star Trek fans, which had never happened before. And we are definitely beginning the final stretch of TNG on our podcast. And as this show is starting to wind down and they start to wrap up some of the storylines and threads they had begun in earlier episodes, we can kind of see in this episode how they start to close some of these storylines out, how effective they are at doing that. And we can also see how this works as a season finale for TNG's penultimate season. All right, for those of you at home who are going to watch along with us, Star Trek The Next Generation is streaming on Paramount Plus. You can find it by bringing up Season 6, Episode 26, and we will be back after we watch Descent.
But then I said, in that frame of reference, the perihelion of Mercury would have processed in the opposite direction.
That is a great story.
Quite amusing, Dr. Hawking. You see, Sir Isaac, the joke depends on an understanding of the relativistic curvature of space-time. If two non-inertial reference frames are in relative motion...
Do not patronize me, sir. I invented physics. The day that apple fell on my head was the most momentous day in the history of science.
Not the apple story again.
That story is generally considered to be apocryphal.
What? How dare you?
Perhaps we should return to the game. Now let's see, where were we? Yes, you raised Mr. Data 4. Which means that the bet is 7 to me?
The bet is 10. Can't you do simple arithmetic? I don't even know why I'm here in the first place. What is the point of playing this ridiculous game?
When I play poker with my shipmates, it often appears to be a useful forum for exploring the different facets of humanity. I was curious to see how three of history's greatest minds would interact in this setting. So far, it has proved to be most illuminating.
We just got done watching Descent. In case you haven't watched this one before or didn't watch it along with us. So in this one, they find a planet that's been attacked by a group of rogue Borg who are all individual and have emotions and are very violent. And during this, Data kills one of them in a fit of anger and rage and experiences his first emotion. And as they're trying to figure out about like why the Borg are doing this, they believe that it might have something to do with our good friend Hugh, who was recently on the show. He was a Borg that they kind of liberated and sent back to the collective, and now it's possible that his sense of individuality has had an effect on some of the Borg. But as they're trying to figure out what's going on with the Borg, Data's trying to process his emotions and also kind of admits to Counselor Troy that he felt pleasure while killing the Borg. Eventually, they get their hands on a Borg prisoner, and they're trying to interrogate him, and Data's trying to interrogate him, and he briefly name drops that like there's a one out there who can help us and help you, Data, and
Keanu Reeves.
The one.
He's out there waiting for you.
During this conversation, he pushes a button and triggers some emotions in Data, and Data's like, it says he would do anything to experience emotion again, even if it meant killing his friend Geordi. And next thing you know, him and the Borg are escaping from the ship, and Enterprise tracks him down to a planet, starts sending down the crew to go search for him, leaving Crusher in command of the Enterprise. And then they stumble upon a little structure where they get cornered by all the Borg. And it turns out who is behind all this is not Hugh, but our good friend Lore, Data's evil twin brother. And he reveals that him and Data and these Borg have joined forces, and together they will destroy the Federation, and we get a season cliffhanger.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wild
Lore. Big old twist.
Wild, wacky stuff.
No, he keeps sending him into space, and he keeps coming
back. We always start with initial thoughts. Jennie, initial thoughts coming on off of Descent.
I don't get it.
What don't you get?
Data feels anger for the first time and then rapidly decides being a serial killer sounds all right.
Seems a little quick.
Yeah.
Quick turn?
Yeah.
A little too quick?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It does seem pretty extreme, because he's like, Geordi, would you kill your best friend for a Klondike bar? Yes. I would.
For a Klondike bar? You bet your fucking ass I'd kill Geordi.
The pleasure of a Klondike bar.
My best pleasure friend I would derive.
It is a pretty rapid, extreme change. It is interesting, I think, to see him like experiencing like a first emotion and having it be anger, because it's just probably not what you would expect it to be. But then it definitely seems it goes down the deep end real quick.
This is kind of like watching it. I feel like it's kind of how the Emperor thinks it's going to go with Luke in Return of the Jedi. Like, feel the power of the dark side. Luke's like, yeah, let's do that.
Strike me down, and
okay.
Your journey toward the dark side will be complete.
Fuck yeah.
Will be complete. Also, you were here talking about Borg. We haven't seen Hugh yet, but in terms of this kind of being some sort of follow-up to that, what are your kind of initial feelings or impressions?
If Hugh is behind this feels like an allegory for the United States and our involvement in Latin America.
Damn. Wow. Just getting involved and now just fucking it all up.
I don't understand.
Please elaborate.
Educate me.
No, they're all toppling like dominoes. Thanks, United States. All right. Marc, initial thoughts coming on off of Descent.
This is going to sound crazy, y'all. Crazy. Because I'm going to sound like an idiot. I did not even suspect Lore. I have only been on this show, this podcast, 4 Lore episodes, and when Lore showed up, I was like, oh my God, Lore! Duh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lore. What a twist. Who could have seen that coming?
Wow. So that was nice. I mean, I agree with Jennie as far as like, he feels anger, and then he's like, I'm going to pleasure murder my best friend, your cat, that guy's dog, and my own mom. Like, you know, and so that, but obviously that was manipulated out of him, which, you know, it's very clearly shown. And, you know, I was trying to think at the same time, like, if you've never felt any emotion before, in your whole life, all you've ever wanted was to feel an emotion, and the only one that you're given access to is anger.
Yeah, some form of anger.
Man, that would probably fuck you up. And I think what disappointed me about this particular episode a little bit is I feel like the rest of the crew kind of let Data down a little bit. He experienced anger and killed out of rage for the first time. Like, he's feeling emotions.
And felt pleasure. Admittedly felt pleasure.
And told Troy that he felt pleasure at doing it.
No one was like, that's
and
kind of
then
out of character
he
for
asked
you.
to be taken off of duty and then was given jobs anyways. So he was put into a situation to be manipulated by the one person we have seen throughout the entire series, because when we find out Lore's behind it, Lore has consistently been able to manipulate Data over and over and over again. Like, he is the one person who keeps getting a one-up on Data, and here he is doing it again, getting another one-up, and I feel like, I don't know, I'm a little disappointed. The rest of the crew kind of let Data down. I feel like they should have been a little more cautious with the way that whole situation on the planet had gone down. And I think they should have given him more time off when he literally asked for it.
Sick leave, come on.
Yeah, he was like, take me off the duty roster, please. And they did for a minute, didn't they? Or
he says he does, but I don't think you ever really see him off duty.
No, and then he's out there doing all the jobs anyways. It's like they don't take him off. They don't give him any time off.
I'm sorry, Data. It's the middle of the holiday season. I just can't spare you right now.
I talked to HR and they are just not approving any more time off. And I know you put this in with me a few weeks ago. I was the one who dropped the ball. But we all have to make sacrifices sometimes.
Yeah, they all seem oddly, except for Geordi. Geordi seems to have a real concern about this situation.
Geordi is legitimately concerned.
Yeah.
But also Geordi's kind of dealing with some other things too. I mean, they all are, but at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting, kind of slightly, I don't know, out of character for them.
A little bit.
Aaron, initial thoughts coming on from Descent.
The scene with Data and the Borg, where the Borg like outkirks him.
Oh yeah.
Just out logics Data. Hilarious.
The one can help you, Data. Yeah.
That guy's performance pretty compelling as the emotional Borg.
Definitely a very different kind of Borg performance than we have ever seen. Even like with Hugh, who was an individual Borg, but this guy's very like an icky, abusive, toxic Borg.
he reminded me of like a narcissist. You know, like just his weaponization of emotion. That was really, really compelling.
I felt exactly what you felt before. It's okay, bud.
The one can help you.
We love the one.
I mean, that is a creepy scene. Like, there is a kind of dark, icky, oh God, like to all of this.
I certainly agree. Like, the crew lets Data down for a part 2, basically, so they have a chance to make it up to him. Hopefully.
Yeah, we still got part 2.
Yeah. There's a part 2, right?
Yeah, there's part 2.
Well, we have to wait a whole year.
A whole year.
No.
Next season, everyone. Oh no. This one is very this is a very strange episode to me. Like, it's this strange case where I'm like, all of this is very interesting, but I'm somehow not super interested in it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. This idea of like Data is feeling like emotion and anger for the first time. I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea, especially as you're getting toward the end of the show, like starting to show Data starting to feel emotions, and he's like, but it's anger? That's kind of scary. And then this kind of thing with the Borg, they kind of do this follow-up on that iBorg episode and just kind of following up on like, oh, yeah, there have been consequences to what they've done, and that's kind of also interesting. But, you know, I'm watching this, and there's a lot of, I don't know if you guys perceived this or picked up on this. I felt there was also just like a lot of dry exposition scenes in this episode, just like talking about space stuff, and like, you know, they're talking about like the transwarp tunnel and everything, or like they're talking about, you know, search patterns and whatever. I'm like, okay. Like, it feels like there's so much interesting stuff, but then there's like this kind of like plot that has to keep moving. You're like, okay. I don't know if you guys feel that though. That's kind of how I feel with this. I'm like, there's a lot of interesting stuff, but I feel like it's not super interesting in at least how they're presenting it. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. What do you guys think?
To me, it felt like two different episodes smashed together, like the two plot lines. I get how they're related, but they didn't honestly seem like that helpful to each other to me.
Like the Borg and Data's emotion kind of a thing.
Yeah, I feel like if we want to explore the Borg as, taking on this new evolutionary step or something, like that's pretty cool. And then Data having emotions, like that's pretty cool. It is not apparent to me yet how these two things had to be related as an episode.
Yeah. It just kind of feel like they're kind of mashed together a little bit. And I think this one actually was kind of cobbled together piecemeal. Like, I guess they were trying to figure out what we want to do for a season finale, and like they were throwing around a bunch of ideas. And like, I think the first idea they had was that this was originally going to be a story about them being recalled to Earth and being broken up. Very different story. There was also an idea to have like Data was going to start having nightmares, and that was going to be like a big thing. They were also considering doing a crossover with Deep Space Nine where they have to like work together to fight off like an alien invasion. But then they kind of came up with like, oh, what if instead of like Data having dreams, we did like Data getting angry in his first emotion? But then someone else was like, oh, but what if we did like the Borg and like a follow up to that Hugh episode, and like, what if we just put them together? And I'm like, that's kind of what it feels like. It just kind of
Some what ifs.
Yeah.
Well, and like,
it kind of doesn't stand alone as a episode, and it needs the follow up.
Right.
There's no resolution in this episode.
Well, and like, I mean, you were talking about like a lot of other individually interesting things were thrown in, and yet it like wasn't interesting. And I think a part of that is it's like the transwarp tunnels, right? So that is incredibly interesting. In fact, that is like the thing that compelled me the most in the episode. When I heard that, I was like, okay, that's interesting. And when they talked about like, yeah, you go through these and you're traveling 20 times faster than our fastest speed. That's like warp 9.8 or something like that, like something crazy. Mm-hmm. They jump into one of these following the shuttle, and they're in it for what, 15 seconds?
2 seconds.
Like 15, 20 seconds. And they travel 65 light years. Mm-hmm. Like, that concept on its own could have been its own episode. Or you could even have that be like you could do the Borg and that, like, but they don't realize it's the Borg that they're going after. They're finding these transwarp tunnels. They're finding these ships that are flying through it, that are attacking colonies. And they're like, and they find this like technology, or like there's a species out there that's using a technology that allows them to travel faster than we can even build ships to do. How are they doing this? Like, this is incredibly dangerous. And then you find out it's the Borg, and it's like something to do with like the consequences of Hugh or something like that. Too many cooks in the kitchen on this particular episode. Individual compelling ideas, but just too much at once, I think. But I mean, everyone's performance is still fucking fantastic.
Yeah, what do you guys think about, I'm getting a little into the Data of it all. What do you guys think about either, and we talked about it is kind of a quick heel turn, but is this still like an interesting like look or perspective on Data? Or even like, I don't know, or Brent Spiner in the role. What do you guys think? Is this an interesting Data stuff despite its flaws?
I think so.
Conceptually, it's interesting. He gives a good performance. It's a little bit like, oh, another lore episode.
Yeah, he does. And the idea that anger is the first emotion that he feels, and the moral grapplings that he has with that, very compelling. Like the scene he has with Troy, where they're kind of breaking down the emotion that he felt. That was probably my favorite scene in the entire episode. Just this exploration, or that combined with the scene with him and Geordi when he's trying to explain how anger felt, and then Geordi's trying to explain it, but can't explain it without using other feelings, other emotional kind of feelings, and so it was compelling. But then, yeah, I mean, then you have like evil Borg guy who's like, I'm going to suck your soul, Data. It's like, can't we just like explore a little bit more about this like anger thing instead of having like
the evil devil on the shoulder?
It almost seemed like an evil warlock like showed up and was like, let me turn on my button and now you're feeling emotions and kill Jordy. Kill him and get me out of here, please.
What do you think, Jennie? Does this kind of flesh out Data in an interesting kind of way despite its flaws, or is there something interesting here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a potentially interesting episode and subject. I'm very interested to see what happens in the second part of the episode, because right now it does just feel kind of unhinged and ungrounded, and I would be pissed off if I was watching this as a season finale and was left with that.
Yeah, I have to wait 3 months to figure out what happens. Just
Yeah, it just feels like, to me, the coolest part of the episode is the exploring Data's emotions, and it feels like that part just got really like underdeveloped. I felt like the scenes both with I felt like the scene with Troy felt underdeveloped to me. Like, as a therapist, the way she was talking to him about it, I was like, oh my God, you just ended that conversation alluding that he's a maniac.
no wonder. My therapist told me I was crazy.
Well, we're out of time.
And then I told her that I felt pleasure, and she just stared at me. Didn't even tell me the time was up. Just didn't say anything. Just looked at me. I felt so awkward. I got up. I don't even feel emotions, and I felt awkward. And so I just got up and I walked out of the room. And I think, bro, I think I might be fucking crazy. I didn't even think about that. That's fucking hilarious.
I feel like she set him up to walk into this situation with the Borg wizard for him to be like, oh, you're crazy. Like, you're going to kill your friends for fun.
Yeah.
Like, no one explained to him anything about emotions.
Right.
Jordy did a terrible job. Troy did a terrible job. Nobody educated him on what was going on. They
Right.
just let him, like, be
Right.
worried and freaked out about it.
And I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, every single person in this episode let Data down.
Yeah,
And it's hard to watch.
a little bit.
It's kind of like they're like, oh, emotions, we're dealing with something.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm breaking down. Like, I'm thinking about killing Jordy.
Oh, no.
Jordy just walks into the holodeck with like Data just killing Jordy over and over.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make myself angry.
Yeah.
Would you help me turn the safeties off?
Yeah, he's just like, Jordy walks in, says nothing. It's like, oh, don't mind me. I'm just practicing killing.
He just kind of casually steps over the Borg corpse. What's going on here, Data? Is everything okay?
Looks like you got it handled, man.
Yeah, like, because, the very next scene you see Data after that therapy scene is him just killing that Borg over and over and over again. It's like they've just left him to his own devices in the holodeck, playing out murder fantasies because no one is there for him. It seems so out of character because the show in some episodes goes out of its way to have scenes that are just not even related to the plot, but about like conflict resolution and supporting each other.
Right.
Like, even when you were here on Data Lore, the plot took a time out. Hey, well, there's some awkward things about all this, but it's okay to have feelings. And everyone's like, here. Like, they literally had a like time out for our feelings.
Yeah.
Like, workplace, I don't know, everyone's uncomfortable, but it's all right, And I'm like, none of that here.
No. Everyone is just like, meh, 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 meh.
It's one of those weeks.
But it's too many things were happening at once.
Yeah,
The
everyone's
Borg are
caught up in their own
invading.
bullshit, and no one had time to really focus on Data.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
I do think Brent Spiner does do a good job
Of
with some of
course.
those scenes.
Absolutely.
Like this guy who's never felt emotions, like experiencing anger. And there's almost this kind of like sad euphoria where he could tell, like, even when he says like, yes, I would kill him, you can almost see that he's kind of playing. It's like he hates that he's saying it, but he's just like, oh my God. Like, I could feel something. Kind of freaky.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you guys think about, I mean, getting away from the data aspect, I don't know, what do you guys think about the other big idea they're trying to flesh out in this is this whole different like take on the Borg that's radically different than what we've seen before. And I mean, Jennie, you kind of chimed in a little bit, just like, well, yeah, we'll have to kind of see what happens in part 2. But what do you guys think? Like, what do you guys think of this whole idea of like the individual, I don't know, rogue Borg collectives running around?
Honestly, it kind of bums me out. I felt like the Borg was way cooler when they were a hive mind, and now that they're this weird broken up bit, it just feels like they just are using the Borg costumes for like a generic other enemy.
Might as well just be Klingons or whatever at this point.
Yeah, again, maybe if they had developed it more into something, it would feel meaningful, but it kind of just feels slapped together to me.
Like their ship.
Yeah, like their weird looking ship.
For me, the introduction of lore at the end made the Borg make a lot more sense to me. Because it was like, you know, knowing what I know of lore and what we all know of lore.
Except for me, because I haven't watched the
that's fair. Lore is out of his fucking mind, like completely crazy. He's Data's brother, Data's twin, and every time we've seen him in every single episode, he is capable of feeling emotions, and the emotions he feels the most are jealousy towards Data, anger, resentment towards their father, like, and that makes him narcissistic. It makes him a liar, like he just constantly lies, and it makes him incredibly petty and dangerous. And so, and throughout, you know, his whole story, like those emotions even get ramped up even further as you go on with it. So having lore come out and like, oh, these Borg are worshiping that dude. Suddenly their like super evilness, their individuality evilness, kind of like, it's like I can buy that lore was able to manipulate that out of beings who had been assimilated by the Borg. If he got his hands on like a group of Borg who had broken away from the collective and he was able to fully manipulate them, that is exactly how I imagine they would turn out. So
yeah, I mean, like the Croesus, the Borg in there, he's like, oh, once you see that it's lore, it's like, you're definitely like a lore Borg. Like how he treats Data is not dissimilar to how lore treats.
Exactly.
The kind of manipulation.
Even like when he's looking at, he like looks at Worf and says Klingon, like, and lists the best way to kill a Klingon. Looks at the human, sever the vertebrae at the, like, sever the spinal cord between the third and fourth vertebrae. Death is instantaneous. You know, it's like, that feels very much like how lore just kind of is. Just like this constant reminder that he is stronger. Better. He believes himself to be smarter and better than you, and he can kill you at any moment, and he will. He would. We've seen him do it before.
Yep.
He'll just straight up kill you.
Yep.
Because fuck you.
Yep. It's the lower way.
Yep.
Do you think Croesus is short for necrosis?
Oh, necrosis. I wouldn't be surprised. That's the kind of shit that the writers kind of laughed. What if it was like necrosis, but like just Croesus? Yeah.
I like it.
Real quick, I mean, you had said, Jennie, this would drive you crazy as a season finale. What do you guys think? Good season finale? What's your feeling on this? Like as the penultimate season finale?
I know. It would drive me nuts. No! Yeah, I'd be like, because I do it now, like with current shows, they get to the season finale and they end on something that I don't like. I'll be like, those sons of bitches. And I would have said the exact same thing if I was watching this currently. Like, those bastards.
God damn it. Yeah. What do you think, Aaron? Season finale? Yay or nay?
Nay.
Oh, there's shake of the head.
This is like an episode 14.
Okay, yeah, just
like something
whatever.
Mid-season.
We need something. That's not something you say for your season finale. Oh gosh, we got to throw something together.
It almost feels like they're trying to lean on the, like, it'll be lore and Borg, and they're kind of leaning on. Remember how like when we did that big season finale with the Borg? That was a big thing. It'll be that, but now there's lore, and it's kind of like, you might be trying a little too hard now.
Well, and part of me also kind of wonders. how much Paramount had to do with it, because I know I was watching a Deep Space Nine documentary recently, and they were talking about how the producers, like the people who were giving them money, did not like serialization at all. And Deep Space Nine basically was the first show to go like, well,
we're gonna go full serial.
Like, fuck you. Like, we're gonna do it anyways, which is what lends that show to be the best Star Trek show out there, in my opinion. But so, you know, like, the writers wanting to do something that's like, we want to end on a cliffhanger, you know, but like, they're not allowed to really do like serialization, but they're trying to for like the finale of this season tying into the next season. But it's just didn't hit right, unfortunately, which is crazy because it's like they're on season 6, you know, like their quality has been so good for so long now.
A rare miss.
But, you know, it happens, though. You know,
they can't all be bangers.
No. And even still, like, it's not like it's unwatchable.
No, it's still interesting on it, but yeah, it's kind of like, okay, I guess we'll see how it goes part 2.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always with that, and again, always with these 2-parters, you always have to see how they resolve before you can really figure out your feelings on them. So, but they always, you know, but then you're kind of you have to sit with this for like months when you're first watching this. So you're just kind of thinking about, you only have this to go on. You're like, damn it. Whole summer gone. There are a couple of interesting behind the scenes things with this one. This is the only Star Trek episode to have someone play themselves, which is Sir Stephen Hawking. Like that weird little intro at the beginning with Data playing poker with him.
Yeah, I totally forgot. Like, yeah, Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking's in this episode. He's the only guy to play himself in all of Star Trek.
Wait, was that fucker knighted?
I think he was.
Stephen Hawking was?
Oh, maybe not.
I called him Sir Stephen Hawking.
I think he was.
I'm looking it up.
Well, he is a gentleman.
If they didn't knight Stephen Hawking, then what's the point of having knightheads?
I mean, he partied with the Queen on Epstein Island, so.
Likely. He reportedly turned down knighthood because he does not like titles.
Oh, now I got even more respect.
Mr. Stephen Hawking. Mr.
Based.
Doctor, probably.
Dr. Stephen.
Let's face it.
Steve, as he likes to be called.
He probably has like 9 PhDs. He's Dr. Stephen Hawking.
Also, this is the only episode in all of Star Trek where the episode credits happen before the main titles. It's kind of like you don't really think about it, but they play all of that during the teaser before they even get to the main titles. It's the only Star Trek episode that does that.
Why?
I don't know. That's such a weird choice. Maybe they just felt like they wanted, because they come in on an action sequence instantly when they come back for commercial with that fight with the Borg. I wonder if they wanted to let the fight scene play out without having like episode titles over it. But kind of interesting. A little trivia. All right.
Their fight choreographer they used was just a diva. I shall not have words over my choreography. It's like, choreography? You're just telling them to lie down and point and shoot.
Come on, like that's a judo chop to the neck. That's not choreography.
Did you not see the thing with Data? That's called grappling.
Borg did use the unblockable move that was in there.
Oh yeah.
I really need to put together a compilation of the wapa.
Yeah.
Star Trek fighting.
100%
double fist to the
rate.
stomach, followed by the double fist up to the head.
Unblockable
every time.
I think one day we're gonna find out that that Star Trek fighting is in fact the like least effective form of fighting. Like every blow you do with your double hand hit breaks every single one of your fucking fingers.
And then upward break your wrist. Boom.
Your wrist is gone. Your fingers are shattered.
I lose.
Oh dear.
How about my face to your fist style?
The double jump hip check.
Yep.
Kirk's double jump.
Mm-hmm. Kirk's on a different level. He does his own thing. Kirk Fu.
That is a tactical maneuver.
Kirk Fu.
Kirk Fu. That's a whole different thing. All right. I think we'll wrap it up and prepare ourselves for part 2. But any final thoughts, Jennie, on Descent?
Were we supposed to answer the question about are emotions dangerous, or is that we're carrying that over into part 2?
We're going to carry that over into the next one.
Good, because I'm still really wrestling with this one.
Yeah, and there's actually going to be another question we're going to look at too, so it'll be double deuce next time. Marc, any final thoughts on Descent?
Final thoughts. Probably the weakest Next Generation episode I've seen recently in the last little bit.
In weeks.
Unfortunately. But I feel like the potential for so many different cool storyline ideas were there and just not fully developed. But once again, the cast was fantastic. And I have no complaints.
Shout out to Patrick Stewart for saying that technobabble.
Yeah. I was thinking the whole time, like, what if they just replaced like all of their science talk with science?
Yeah.
Just like, sir, I'm detecting quite a bit of science out there. Oh my, quickly, fire the science torpedoes.
Captain, our science readings are off the science. Ray science.
Captain Science is down to 80%, compensating with auxiliary science.
Fire the science.
Science is now at 125%.
Fire the science beams.
Science!
Science beams have been disabled. Set course. Warp 9. Science.
Science. We've dropped down to warp science.
Is that science point science or science point science?
Jordy, what's going on with my science?
I'm getting a lot of electromagnetic interference on my science visor.
My science visor.
Jordy, I want a full science by the end of the science. I'm sorry, Captain. Science is down.
It'll take me at least 2 science to complete.
It's like if you do that, but then every like alien like planet and alien species they go to is like gobbledygook. Just like, hey, the blibblers, they're firing their science at us.
Science.
Ray science. Ray science. I would watch that show.
Oh, yeah.
Dumb it down for the people.
That's Lower Decks. Aaron, final thoughts on Descent?
No, that's a good place to end the science bit. I love
science. Science. Yes, I agree. Science. All right. Well, thank you, Marc and Jennie. We will be seeing you both for next episode, certainly.
Can't wait.
Yes, because next time we are going to be resolving this cliffhanger with Descent Part 2. This is also going to be the season premiere for TNG's 7th and final seasons, which means we are nearing the end of our TNG journey for this 100-episode list. All right. Marc and Jennie will be back again, and we'll see you all next time for Descent Part 2. See you then.
Hopefully not getting emotionally manipulated by your brother.
Oh, no! Thanks for listening. If you'd like to share us your own Star Trek story, you can email us at storiedstartrek@gmail.com, or you can visit our Discord server. You can find us by clicking on the link in the show description.